My name is Roxy van Bemmel. I am an artist, a painter. My work is all about expanding and making yourself as large as possible. I process a lot of my emotions through my paintings, and the last time I worked on the biggest painting that I've ever made was a long time ago. In this video, I'm gonna continue that process. Enjoy! I painted this blue body a few days ago, and it's the first time that I touched this painting again. And I figured, you know, there was this empty space that I wanted to fill, and I was kind of scared to start painting again, honestly. I've been feeling like postponing painting at all because it really connects with my feelings, and it's very, I don't know, intimate, and I'm not really sure if I want to be so intimate, but I also know that it's good for me. So I think that's why I've been postponing painting at all. So I figured, you know, why not start with something really easy? And one easy thing led to this whole part, which might not seem like a lot, but it was more than I planned on doing. And now that I did that, I actually really like it because there's like little highlights and spots that reflect the light. I'm not sure about the anatomy all over. I think something's wrong over here. There needs to be a fold over here, otherwise your body doesn't function. But I do like that it is covered now. And I actually want to work on that today. And not just this part. I think I like this, how it is. But I want to fix this red. And I want to fix this, which is a different colorway. Maybe I'm actually going to start with this because this is a really big area. And then we're going to see how it goes from there. Start with the easiest parts and go from there. Go layer by layer, small parts to big parts. Or painting is the other way around, but in this case, we're going small parts to big parts. I'm really liking the depth of the painting right now. Yes, and actually what I was saying was that I'm glad that this blue part of the figure is gone and I wanted to continue it today, but yesterday night I had a workshop. But now we're fast forward after the workshop and I'm going to give another workshop today. So I'm taking like a few minutes to record this. I'm really happy how this turned out. It's turning out like this kind of realistic, but very deep, very contrasted. And I'm actually happy that I took the time to add more layers, and I'm using a lot more blended techniques. So I'm using, but I actually went to the store to get some brushes, some new softer ones, and also this one, which is really soft. And then I'm gonna try this one for the first time. This is a really cheap one because I do not believe that it will work. But apparently this shape should be good for blending. They have more expensive ones. This one is quite harsh. The other ones are softer, like the more expensive ones are softer. But I just don't believe that it works. So I'm gonna try it out first. And I honestly think that this will work more than this, but well, we'll see. But anyway, I was noticing that I lacked the brushes that I needed to create the desired effect. I did what I could with the stuff that I had, and it's turning into something new, which is exciting. I think the next step for me will be to paint this figure and give her the same depth as this figure has. And then I just have to go over the entire painting with more layers. As it's been so long that I worked on this, that I started working on this. And I made this hand super detailed. I might go over it with a little bit of extra highlights, but then I think it's actually done-ish. But I do feel like the background now feels quite empty in comparison to the figures. So I want to see if I want to add stuff or if I want to leave it like this but just create a lot more depth. But it is interesting, to say the least. It feels a bit different than my other work, and that's probably because of its size, and also, I don't know, it's very detailed. It's very detailed, but also has big shapes. I don't know how to explain it, but it was fun to work on this. And I obviously still need to fix the hair, but I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. And now I'm gonna prepare for my workshop. Hello, hello. I am in the studio on Tuesday. Yesterday I took a day off because I had a market on Sunday, which was not super exciting. It was not really busy, but I did have a fun time because I was next to a friend and we basically chatted the whole day. It's also the last market I'll be doing until Christmas. I did like a full summer season of markets, which was fun. It was a nice experiment as well because I never do that. And I think I want to do that again next year, but with like different inventory. As some markets are really good and some are just a little less busy. The curation yesterday the day before yesterday, was actually really good though. So that definitely wasn't it. It just wasn't really super busy. So today I slept in. It's already 1 and I haven't even started working yet. But today I want to finish a few things because I'll be going on a holiday next week, so I won't be working. I have to order some paper for a live illustration job that I have right after my holiday. And at 4:30 I have an exciting Zoom meeting with a potential client for a destination wedding for live illustration. So we'll see how that goes. I hope it goes through, and otherwise, that's okay. But if it does, it would be my first destination wedding with live illustration. So that's exciting. I also want to make a Patreon post because I've been working on that post for a week somehow. And for that, I just need one more photo of the finished painting that I have here. And there's also some detail photos of what I've been working on with the bigger painting here. I have no illusion of me working on this painting today, but maybe on Thursday or Friday. I hope I still have some time left then. And I have a really big live illustration job this Saturday and Sunday, which is actually the reason that we postponed our holiday by a week. Kind of those weekend days being gone as off days, I compensated this week. So maybe I won't be here on Friday. Who knows? Anyway, let's get to work doing the boring stuff first and then working our way up to the fun stuff. Ben jij irritant? So I made a video once about how I photograph my paintings. This is not ideal, as the lamp should be the same height, sort of, but then I get a lot of glare. I also learned about this polarizing filter that I could use to kind of get the glare out, but I still have not bought one, and I want to photograph this today. So I have to edit some things in Photoshop. And anyway, this is what you get when you get the cheaper lamps. This is getting super flimsy, and it keeps moving up or down, whatever I do not want. So just keep in mind, these are only 100 euros together, or they were. And that is what you get when you pay for nothing. But they have photographed a lot in the meantime. So I'm still happy that I bought both of them. I just think that at some point it is time for a better replacement. Good morning. I just came back from my holiday. It was a very well-needed short holiday in France. We spent about a week there. We left on Monday, stayed the night in a chateau, which was a first and also fun, so why not? Then we went to the south of France to spend the week over there. We did a lot of brocantes, like a lot of vintage shopping. Actually, it's not vintage shopping, more like antique shopping, I guess. I actually also got this jacket for €5 at a house sale. They do that there. I think in America it's like common as well, like yard sales. But like the full house was like a shop. Everything was for sale. And this woman had so many coats. And I looked at them thinking, I'm never gonna find anything. But then I found this one and I'm really happy with it. I am just a sucker for like fake fur jackets where they have like the cuffs and then also the collars. So I'm really happy with that. And we found a lot of stuff. So we found a really lovely hand-painted yellow cabinet, which I'm fixing up the inside of now. Like the outside looks fun and it's cute. We cleaned it up though. We spent like 2 hours cleaning it up. But the inside was painted with this chalky, I think wall paint maybe. So it was just losing paint and staining everything. And I'm painting the inside a light blue, but I'm not done yet. And then we found this really beautiful industrial lamp, dark tinted martini glasses. Apparently France is into graphic novels a lot because there were a lot of shops that sold graphic novels, and I'm planning to, at one point, learn some French, un petit peu, understand it a little bit, but like almost nothing. And I think reading the graphic novels really helps because there's loads of words I don't understand, but at least from the context I kind of understand. So I picked up 2 graphic novels. It was just a fun holiday with a lot of shopping involved. Not really a big fan of shopping normally, but when it's like vintage shopping, furniture shopping, then I really like it. And my partner does as well, so that really helps. And then yesterday, I actually had to get right back to work because on Monday night, we arrived home. And then on Tuesday morning, and 8 o'clock in the morning, I had to be in the train to go to an event to live illustrate. It was a very short session though. It was only like 2-ish hours, and it was for press and influencers. And I actually really liked the drawing that I made. And they gave me a gift because you might have seen my very taped together headphones. And the brand was actually for those headphones. So they saw these headphones on my head and they figured who else would be a better person to live illustrate for the brand. And they got me new headphones. I picked out these dreamy lilac ones, and the brand is called Fresh and Rebel. So I got paid for the live illustrations. These were gifted, and obviously they are an upgrade from this because I think I've had these ones for like 6 years. People from the brand were there as well, and they said they looked at my headphones and everything is broken, and they said like, "Wow, this is a really old model. That's even before like two headphones ago, and then you had the first one. I think these are the first ones." So yeah, this is definitely an upgrade from this, and I'm gonna throw these away now finally, even though they still kind of work, but they are also kind of gross. I have no idea how long they're gonna stay a dreamy lilac, but we'll see. So today on the planning is actually to paint this big painting because I am urging to paint. I really, really want to paint. And I am looking at my full inbox, which I am also very grateful for because there's a lot of requests, but I don't want to spend time emailing this morning. I just want to paint. So that's what I'm going to do today. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to look at the emails because some are very urgent. Or, I mean, what is actually urgent? But I guess they are urgent enough to do today. One last thing, because I got a package from the US from Paloma the Peach. I sent her my zine and we did like a zine exchange. I think she reached out to me and then I reached out to her like, "Hey, I love your zine collection. So we do a zine exchange." And she commented before that on my video. So yeah, I'm gonna unpack this now because it has been a long time. Yeah, oh, they're cute. Did you get? Yeah. This looks really cute. It says, "Thank you for trading. Mr. Shutter goes to Citadel de Mexico." I mean, if you've been on YouTube, you probably know Paloma the Peach because I think she's one of like the OG studio vloggers. And I see stickers. I see a lot of stickers. I love goodies. We have a baby, frogs. We have, I think, a Paloma, a tiny mini zine, trinket zine, and then, this was for the one she was talking about. We have the Crocs. This is really cute. Thank you, Paloma. I'm gonna give these ones a nice spot in my studio, and now I'm gonna actually go paint. Now let's start by cleaning this dirty palette, because I know this has dried. Oh my god. It's so stuck. Oh my god. Ew. Oh, that's gross. This may be beyond saving. Oh my god, this is echt, oh godverdamme. So this is the container I usually do put my oil in, like my linseed oil. And then I close it because I know it will evaporate otherwise, or it will dry. But this, it's not as if, I think I've painted like not that long ago, like it hasn't been that long. Goodbye, nails. Although I knew I had to do them again, but this is gross. Ugh. Okay, so now I will never be able to put it in here again, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't feel like fixing the issue today. The next thing I want to paint are the hands, but it is, I don't know what time it is, but it is lunchtime. It's looking blended. The next step for this part would be to bring in some harsher lines, but for that I'm going to wait until it's a little bit more dry. But I think I like the undertones now. So what I did with the blue part as well was wait until this was dry for like 2 days and then put a little bit more highlights, a little bit more shadows in there, and some extra contrast lines, like just sharp lines. So that's what I'm going to do with this as well. But I really like the depth of this arm, and also this. I might actually highlight this even more since I like this so much. And I'm also gonna paint the red parts. So it's gonna be this part, the hand, because I have the colors on my palette right now, and then it's gonna be the red. And then it is the difficult task of deciding what I'm gonna do with the background, because I'm not sure. I like the background, but I also know that I have to go over the background. And I'm unsure if I wanna incorporate an extra element. And I think I'm gonna have to Photoshop that, see what works and what doesn't look like decoration, because I don't want it to be decorative. Big steps were made today. Hello, tomorrow is our open atelier, so let me show you how the studio looks. So this is where we enter. I have a small workshop station over here. I'm gonna make some images that people can color in with some oil pastels. And then you have some smaller ones below that. Those two small ones are quite old. I think they're from like 2021 or something, maybe 2020 as well. And I want to have something to do during the open atelier if it's not as busy. And also I am setting my mind to finishing this work this year. And that is also the end of this video. As always, thank you for my patrons for supporting me over there. If you want to subscribe to monthly lessons, see more of my behind the scenes than on Instagram and just quality monthly posts, then subscribe over there. You can do it from €5. And I hope the open atelier will be a success. I know most of you won't be able to come, but otherwise, maybe I've seen you this weekend and maybe in the future. So I hope you liked this little insight. All right, bye-bye.